This is The Great Outdoors with Jason White, exploring the great outdoors in Pennsylvania and beyond. Brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsmen Association and by Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Now, The Great Outdoors with Jason White.
Hey, good morning, folks, and grab a cup of coffee and sit back because I'll be filling in for Jason. He's on assignment. They call me the Whipster. As well as you know, I have a show on WMBS later this afternoon at 3:15, the Dog Tag Club, with my co-host Rob Doya, talking and discussing about the different things that's happening in the veterans world. We're broadcasting live out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Right now, you can hear us on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, streaming live on Facebook, and those who know the internet, it's WMBS590.com. Joining me before we have a conversation with our guest that's going to be partnering up with me and co-hosting the show, I want to bring it to your attention as well as even on mine. We got a crisis, folks. The suicide that's happening in our community of our veterans, as well as even our non-veterans, they've established a fairly new number, and we want to get it out there. It's 988. That 988, if you see a change in personality of a person or a friend or anybody that is in your circle of friendship, call that number. And it's nationwide, and that 988 serves, like I said, for the veteran as well as a non-veteran. And they have licensed counselors there that would give you the direction and give you the assistance that may be needed. And it's most important. They have the regular 800 number, but, this is easy to remember. And we're trying to elevate that to, everybody to be made aware. But unfortunately, at the beginning, when I did a preview, I asked what 988 was, and they told me that was the price of a pound of steak. They told me that wasn't last night's lottery number, and that's the route that takes you up into a certain, mountain area, which we're all wrong. So we have some work to do. And you guys being my boots on the ground, as I like to refer to, put the word out. 988 is your ally to saving that person from possibly taking their own life. And it's a crisis. It happened in my family. I didn't recognize the elements that he was going through, and again, I just thought he was just sowing his wild oats, and it's a sad situation, And even when you lose a loved one, naturally through whether it be old age or accident or whatever, that's one thing. But when they take that gift of life away, and nobody around to encourage them or to stay connected and be connected to them, that's another. And that's where, we don't have to be educated. We don't have to have that sheepskin. Just we have to have that concern and be a trusted ally to them. And that's what they want. They just want to hear, to have somebody to hear their complaints. And, we all have them. We've all been in the valley. But, I could probably talk the whole program about, that. But, I think you got the message. So, my board man there, TJ, is our guest with us.
Hello?
Yeah, Derek, are you there, my friend?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wonderful. We'll start off with, you introducing yourself to our listening audience, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, my name is Derek White. I am the fire chief for Denver Vesta 6 in Washington County. I'm a member of the MOA. Not only I'm also Jason's uncle, the better uncle of the two. So, but anyhow, needless to say.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'm very happy for the invite to speak with you, Whip, and talk about some things.
Well, again, I want to tell folks that, I'm pro-veteran as well as well as the first responders, including the police as well as the medical. But most importantly, I want people to know that one group serves our country while another group serves our community. Sometimes they not only take for granted, but they are in a hostile environment at times. And that tragedy that is impacted on what you have seen, whether it be through a fatal car crash or taking in the cold of weather that you got a burning house down, that you guys are all volunteers. And, that DNA of your being is, it should be applauded and it should be recognized by our communities. I'm hoping that's the case. Again, I want to stress that you're all volunteer and you go through the extra passion and desire to serve the community. And, it's just not just driving a fire truck and blowing a whistle. There's attached segments that goes with that in training, even from the fire truck to, whether you're engaged in, taking care of a wound until the regular medical people get there. I'm talking about the EMTs or, whom else may be coming on site. Yeah. And, all those instructions and training is so important. Am I on the right page?
Yes, it is, Whip. It is very important. One thing I want to back up there to say about the veterans and the first responders real quick. I just want to say thank you for your services. The first responders out there, myself, we do as much work as we possibly can. And as Whip mentioned there, is that training. Training is utmost importance. And there's a lot to do. Don't get paid for it. It's something you have to love and do. I've done it since I was 14 years old. I'm 47 years old. Now I'm showing my age. So anyhow, with that being said, firefighting and it's not out there like it used to be. It is a lot tougher for people nowadays, the generation from the time whenever I started and till now. It just seems like the less interest, and there's nothing there for them to come to. But, what kind of incentive can you give for a volunteer fire company, a nonprofit organization? There's different things and different learning aspects of the end of it, too. So with that being said, there's, like you said, riding on a fire truck, learning different things, going to different towns for parades. I mean, there's ups and downs for this. There's all kinds of jobs out there on the fire scene for somebody. If you're willing to come out and do some things for your community, or even just yourself, to make yourself feel happy and proud, to keep yourself going with some extra activity for a period of time. All is welcome and is well needed. So, but I also wanted to tie in with the MOA, also with the first responders. They're with how they've been helping out a lot with the fire departments. And Jason really reached out to me a lot after he had his tragic loss of his home and things. So, but other than that, it grew stronger and stronger, where Jason and I talked a lot. And with the MOA, the fire department, the MOA is going to be not only a great organization to belong to, I'll touch on that, and to go with the younger generation, with all the activities that the MOA has right now, the different events that they put on throughout the year, just different things for the younger children, younger adults, the older age population, for them to come and do the fishing, the ranges, the hunts, and things out there. That's just wonderful and great. And I'm proud to be a member of the MOA.
Yeah, we're proud to have you too. And I just wanted to inject what you were saying, that the outdoor recreational therapy is what I like to, refer to as a community of camaraderie that, when you have these hostility environment situations at hand, it sometimes weighs on you. It bears, a bad mark on your memory of things, and you need to sort them out, and you need to get to a serene environment, which is what the MOA with the dog tag program offers. It's not the hunting and fishing is that is yes it is important, but it's the situation to where you know where to go to find a fellow brother. Whether you're serving as a first responder or you're serving as a veteran. It's one thing that we take and talk about a program. It's another thing to initiate it and then to maintain it. And then, how we maintain that program is having partnerships with what your fire department is, engaging in events, such as cash bashes or some form of a fundraiser, entertainment, or whatever. The competition for grants is so demanding, and you have to be on guard for any opportunities that serves that. And the sidebar, but when you plan and stage an event, there's a lot of movement in that area to get it prepared for it to be a success, which hopefully it would be drawn in by the community. And when it's a win-win for the fire department to partner up with, again, the MOA, which is the Mariana Outdoors Association, it lightens the load of responsibility to get the word out, because on both sides, they want it to be, number one, successful. Number two, they have their circle of influence that getting the word out, and it's a win-win for both the organizations to sit down and draw up an idea to fundraise. And basically, it's not for the individual; it's for the organizations so they can keep strong in the things that they offer. Your support for the community in protection of fires, or what. I mean, there's a whole array of volunteers. Yeah, the parades are nice, and the fire trucks are really nice, and when they honk and blow their sirens and everything. But when it's the reality of saving a person's life, that's another extreme that you guys are. 3 o'clock in the morning, picture this: a fireman with icicles on his helmet and his face and everything, bracing the cold weather, but maintaining and trying to, save property as well as that person. Am I saying that right, Derek, or am I?
That is absolutely correct. And it is. There's some times that you'll see that, and like I said, out there to see us coming and things like that. Sometimes it may feel forever for us to come, but you know what? We're coming, and don't worry, we will be there. But to touch back on the organizations about fundraising and stuff, that's another thing about the MOA and us. Like you mentioned real quick, it was a successful cash bash. Well, it was actually a sportsman's bash, that we took on at the fire department between the MOA members and the fire department members, and that was in July. And that was very, very successful, and we have been talking multiple times on having another one and maybe some other events at the fire department, because not only the fire department, the organization, and as you said, grants, they're out there, but they're hard. With it being a nonprofit organization, we thrive on every funding that we possibly can, and that's all done by membership, just like the membership at MOA. They put parts in doing things, events and things like that, and we do our cash bashes, we do our bingos and things. We have bingos every Thursday, and they can follow us on Bimbo Vesta 6 website for Facebook, and along with that. So with that being said, fundraising is very important for both organizations to profit and to grow even stronger together. Like you said, a brotherhood is a brotherhood. When you work together, you can make things stronger and make things more exciting for the community, for not only the community surrounding, for other people to come in also that will partake in other events and things that's going on. So,
I don't mean to jump in there, but you got me all pumped up and excited, because what you're doing in a given way is when you have a cash bash or a sportsman's bash or whatever, you're asking for you're asking for them to support it and to come to to that event, but in exchange, when they come, they're receiving not only the community of hospitality, not only are they receiving an opportunity to maybe win some either cash or a whatever the gift might be at that time frame, but
Right.
they're exchanging their support, but yet they have an opportunity to get back. There's another group of people that don't want to be bothered, but yet they'll go ahead and make a donation, whether it be $5, $20, or whatever. So that again, that community that you're engaging in for that event, you want to get them to know that you've got equipment to maintain. You've got the training that has to be all that apparel that has to be looked at, and there's a budget there with the cost of the equipment, if there's a repair or any other activity that even with the heat, the electric and everything. So those are all incorporated into maintaining that service for your community that you're serving. And then not only that, but then you're expanding to assist if it's a major situation, that you join up with other fire departments, and that may take you out further than what you usually do to be supportive of it. You know what I mean?
That's correct.
Again, I'm very vocal when it comes to the first responders and the testimonies that they've engaged in, whether they go back to their families and whether they get injured. I mean, there's a lot of things that needs to be improved in that environment, for the benefit of. Well, you're a volunteer, what you were doing, but no, that ain't the fact. The fact is, you get injured, you should be compensated in some form or fashion.
Yes, I understand completely, and that's how we do things for our community by getting some kind of form of fundraiser or something like that to try and get back to us also, at the same time giving to the community. Again, there's multiple things that are that updating and multiple things that are needed, and I can't stress enough that money comes out of our money that we are supported by through the community, and that is raised by the community to help us to get to our point where we need to fix something and things like that. And again, nowadays, do you know how much a fire truck costs right now?
No.
Whip? It costs.
Give us
a fire truck just alone by itself with no equipment on it. You're looking at anywhere between $450,000 to $750,000.
What?
Just for exactly. It is from the period of time that I've started this. We used to buy vehicles. You're looking at maybe $40,000 to $100,000. Well, now you've got vehicles out there that are more evasive, that could attack these fires different ways, different things that they can customize them, different ways. It's amazing. You've got different types of trucks out there. I mean, I've known trucks out there in the area that are every bit, just the truck alone, like I said, $450,000 to $700,000, and you put all that equipment on there, you put them apparatuses in use with the personnel, you're looking at over $1 million there.
Wow!
Now, where can you find a volunteer place to put out $1 million to go protect your service out there and help out your community in any aspect, any way of any incident that can occur?
Wow.
So that's where we're at with that. And again, I can't stress enough, Whip, about the how much it is to try and get the community to be involved. Not only just helping us financially, it's coming to our events, but it's just even coming to help out by being a volunteer, being the helper. As I say to my guys all the time, it doesn't matter. There's always a job for a volunteer fireman, regardless of what training you have. If you are full-blown, could go in and fight a fire, or you are at the station, there's always something. There's a job for everybody, regardless if you're 14 years of age or if you're 54 years of age.
Right. Well
It doesn't
said.
matter. So,
Well,
so
I'm just blown out of my socks with the fact of what you just described, what it costs for a truck, the fire truck itself. So, and then the air packs and, the training and, the upkeep of the building itself and the utility end of it. That is a remarkable sense of responsibility to take on, and you're the fire chief. So I'll tell you this: I'm in the entertainment world, and I know a lot of very good and talented bands that if I talk to them and we gauge some of these events at your fire, because you got a beautiful hall. I've been there. And you got a great kitchen. Your kitchen help is phenomenal. Okay, so we need to expose and if that's happening in your area, I'm sure that there's other fire departments that are having the same difficulties or the same challenges that there need to be an awareness or an education of, don't you realize what these men and these women are doing for you in your community? That's the message that's got to be sent out. And again, that's one thing.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stress the idea that, I'm going to lay back and I'm just going to, apply for a grant. But some of these grants are so complicated and so detailed and so time consuming that it almost like, say, oh, the heck with it, I'll just, bypass it this time. But that dedication to try to, focus in on that in itself is a task. So,
right.
But we need, and I'm so happy that not only are you a member, but there has been a positive when I'm talking to the researchers and the developer directors that are investigating what the positive impact on what the MOA has to offer. Let me share some of these themes that they've come to find out when you're outdoors.
Okay. That sounds great.
The reason for the outdoor activities bring forth a improvement in physical exercise, mental exercise, improves the behavior of a person, personality behavior. It produces a better social skill, increases work productivity, appreciation of the nature's environment itself. And it also, most important, it combines the veterans and first responders to band and develop a strong sense of a community. Now, when you're there by yourself and you've ran into an ordeal that really bothers you, and, your family's there to support you, but they don't know really, they know of the fireman and they don't know the mechanism that is really to make that successful in, running that operation. But when you come to a fellow first responder and you said, this is what happened to me, and then you can engage in conversation to where you two can relate in, that aspect. And I've seen it half a dozen times when, whether it be a younger fireman or a veteran talking to the elder. And it almost seemed like that they were in the same room or the same platoon or the same fire hall. And that engagement of conversation uplifts these, these groups of guys, as well as the women themselves. Now, let me give you an idea of what's happened. For the third time, just in one incident, we've had women veterans come up to spend a weekend at the MOA from North Carolina. Okay, we've had them from several different areas, but I'm talking about traveling because they had felt the comfort zone of that community. They felt the camaraderie of that community. They felt the connection of that community. You see where I'm going with that, Derek?
Oh, yeah. That's like I was saying before. Another thing, too, is real quick, is that I was visiting Jason, and I said, these people come in for the weekend, and they came from New Jersey. I said, Jason, this is wonderful and doing well in the community that we are in Deanston Borough there. But, you know, it has expanded this far. I realized that I did not realize that it went this far, and it's great, absolutely wonderful that it's reached out and hopefully growing and growing more, like you said, to come to this area to get a peace of mind. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. But also a sidebar of that, what that is doing is developing, let's say, a sense of tourism. They come and they get exposed to what the MOA has been offered, and then they expand. They want to go out, beyond just to initiate the towns or to go visit the shops or whatever it may be. So, in a sense, we're contributing to a touch of tourism. Okay, and then that themselves, if we connect in the communities that have offering this, that branches out into even more for the state of Pennsylvania, which then hopefully that it will engage in monies that they would be spent, and then there would be also a splash off to you guys in donations and events that you're occurring in. I'm glad we have, I'm going to say it again, I'm glad that we have a strong partnership that where we can look into, the different events of whether it be a golf outing, whether it be a concert, whether it be a sportsman bash, whatever the cause of that time frame might be developed. But we have now a team that is passionate to where we can share a win-win to make people aware of the importance of what we're doing as well as what you guys are representing.
Yes, and that's greatly appreciated. And with that being said, too, is that whenever Jason and I talked, I want to mention, too, also about the MOA helping out the fire department also. Like you said, not only them coming to us or we going to them and working together. Another thing that's really, really helpful, because we have 4 fire companies that respond to the Deanston area, and that because of lack of volunteers. I'll say it. We have lack of volunteers. We need volunteers everywhere. So with that being said, I want to make sure this is said that MOA, not only with the East Bath Township, Mariana Fire Department, Ritchieville Fire Department, and Denbo Fire Department, I'm not going to speak for them, but I can speak as a whole, that the MOA has offered the fire departments different trainings of aspects that could occur at the facility. And that is very helpful because sometimes we cannot go to different facilities. We have different facilities we go to, but to have that atmosphere, to come to that and do whatever have you, like water rescue or some kind of woods rescue, or like I said, of some kind of injury or something at that facility. Oh, let me add this too. We are working on because I work for Brownsville Ambulance Service and I also am an EMT. So I also want to say on behalf of MOA and us is that we are working on an annual thing that we could get every so many months where members, if willing to do so or want to and help out, is we are going to hold at the MOA Lodge a CPR and first aid class. So that will be an absolute plus.
Real good
on both ends. So that would be a big plus, not only for the responders coming in. And God hopes and says, we hope that we don't have no incidents or any bad things, but that fisherman might be an EMT, or somebody goes down, or a bee sting, or some kind of anaphylactic emergency, any kind of type of incident that occurs, there could be responders already within your facility that could start something before the transport actually takes place. And that is absolutely crucial and sometimes, the time is of essence.
Well,
that's situation.
I don't mean to jump in on you there, but that is an excellent point. There could be, like you say, a mishap, offering something that's positive, by, no fault of ours or anybody else's, that accidents do occur, and we all know that. And having presence of training that's being offered to not only our members, but also the engagement of, knowing that you guys are the instructors. I want to take that as a consideration, that you've already been there. You've been down that road, okay? And to pass that on, that's invaluable. I mean, that is so valuable that, it speaks beyond monetary gain. Just to have that CPR training and any direct wounds or whatever the case may be, or even the resuscitation of a person that has swallowed excess amount of water, and that does occur, and it's always been the fact. Well, I don't have to worry about I'm this or I'm that, and sure enough, something in the drastic end of it occurs. But I want to highlight. Before we get in the closing stages, we got some other activity that's going on that which we're very proud of, and I got to tell you, I'm extremely proud of the fact of from starting in. Well, we started this month. We're having our pheasants. We're going to be, having in our pen, and boy, they're beautiful. I mean, they are excellent. The chuckers.
Yes, they are.
The quail, and we're going to be having a continental hunt that'll be occurring in October the 14th. So anybody that was interested, we need to give out Jason's phone number so that if they have any questions, or they can go to the MarianaOutdoors.com website and review what we have to offer as what we've done in the past. Now, his number to contact is 724-579-0924. That's one thing that we've engaged in with the pheasants. We've also had people again from the outer state of Ohio, Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, the other side of Pennsylvania. They've all engaged in the invite of our lodge. So this is
That's
all
outstanding.
It is, and I've seen it. I've even had one guy I met that he came from Philadelphia, and his brother came up to see him, and he brought him over to our place from Costa Rica. So
oh man!
And they spent the weekend. They loved it. Yeah. So and again, if they did not enjoy it, they wouldn't spend the whole weekend with us. All right.
Absolutely.
And then October the 6th, and I know I'm going all over the map with the dates, but that's okay. I'm just giving a representation on what we're already in line to do. October 6th, every Friday from that time on up until like April or May at 3 o'clock, we put monster trout. We put some, when I had in conversation with the board members as well as Jason, we wanted to set ourselves aside to be different, not just to put regular fingerlings in and say, oh yeah, here we go, But no, we got a reputation and we got a name for putting the monster trout. And I could go on with conversation about a veteran that was in a wheelchair. I didn't know what to do. It was grab his chair, him, or his pole when he landed a 26-inch, 6-pound trout. This man, he was so engaged that he didn't care if he was going to go swimming in the stream. Okay, so
that is absolutely wonderful, and to have that like that is great. And
I witnessed it.
Yes,
okay.
And that was. So I just want to say one thing real quick is that I think you guys need a lot of credit there, because I tell you what, how often does the MOA, just to repeat that again, to let the people know that the stocking of this trout is
the first Friday.
Yes.
Starting in October, the first Friday of each and every month, follow through up until May. That 3 o'clock. The trucks come in, and let me do some bragging when I say about how to talk about a program and to keep it running and operational. You know, we've last year we've our expense just for the streaming casting of the trout was over $50,000. Okay,
Oh
50
yeah,
fifty
yeah.
thousand. Okay, and you know what
Wow.
that was by? It was by the support of our members selling again, whether it be a ticket, whether it be a fundraiser with you guys or whoever. Okay, so it wasn't gone into personal pockets. It was gone for the maintaining of the program. Like here we did children. Okay, we had children out there, and what we've done is we had extra reels and rods uh, to where we didn't embarrass that child to, have him omitted from that activity. And if they didn't have a reel or a rod, we placed one in their hand. Well, I seen a little boy in a wheelchair. Okay, he was sitting on the side,
Hmm.
and I said, "No, that ain't gonna happen." I said, "Come on, bud, you're gonna help stock." So he grabbed part of the bucket up to far as he can go, and thanks to the Rolling Thunder, we have a disabled ramp to where he got up to the edge of the stream as far as he can go, and then we took over from there and put the trout into the stream. It wasn't a half hour later that same young man caught a fish, and the smile on his face will forever live in my mind, forever.
And that there will stick to you, because when you see proud moments like that, and somebody that's so perishable to do that and able to feel so happy for what they accomplished, there's a warm feeling, and that it goes a long way.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So yeah, we're beating the drum. We're warriors. Okay. If you can't lead, get out of our way. If you can't participate, show us where you want us to go to participate. We're the inclusion group. We include the children with disabilities. We include the veterans with disabilities. We include the first responders, as well as regular members. Okay, it's the inclusion. It's the building of the camaraderie. It's the staying connected. Okay, yeah, the hunting part of it is it's a leisure to go out, and I haven't seen pheasants as many as I've seen at the MOA unless I was going back when I was first starting to hunt, and it just rekindles the spirit. But more importantly, it's the sitting around the campfire talking about the days past, what you've seen and envisioned, and the enjoyment of just relaxation. It's your troubles are put up on a shelf, and again, it's just the I guess it's the DNA of you guys, as well as even our group of peoples coming together to do something positive. You hear so much daggone garbage about the negativity of things, all Washington County's this or Fayette County's that, but when you see the streamline of what's coming out of these counties and various other places, it wipes away all the negativity. Okay,
Absolutely.
and I see that they want to draw back because there's been repeat performances. Now, yeah, you've been there, Derek, to where you thought that, well, I'm going to go to Disney World, or I'm going to go here or there, and it kind of was a little maybe of a disappointment that you didn't want to go back. But we're seeing repeat people coming back, so we must be doing the right thing. And
Absolutely.
we must be engaged in the right partnership, because, like you had mentioned earlier in the show, that our first time event with the Sportsman was overwhelming success, and people want to. That's the part they want to give. They want to promote and be engaged in activities such being offered. So that's why I'm encouraging. We need to sit down and have actually a schedule of programs to where we can tell the people, yeah, on this day we're going to have a Sportsman thing. On this day we're going to have a golf outing. On this day we're going to have a concert, or with a band or whatever. Yes, the kitchen is open, and we'll have hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever. But all that money is gone is to support our local fire department, as well as our outdoor recreational therapy, in case our firemen needed, or our police needed, our medical needed, as well as our veterans needed. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So these are all exciting moments in time. Even with the inflation and the environment is the way it is, it's not going to stop us. Okay. Now, one more thing before we get in our closing minutes. September 30th, we have a car, truck, and bike cruise. And we want to thank Washington County Tourism Agency as well as the whole Washington County for engaging in support for us. On that day, it's going to be 50-50 will be given. Our first 50 cars in will get a goodie bag to also get I think a very unique Dash Black. There'll be food there from the vendor, was it 19 North, and the other vendors, all free. Any vendor that wants to be a part of that program for the 30th of September, we'll start off at 10 a.m., and all monies raised is naturally for our dog tag program as well as for the Pennsylvania Vet Pets. Now, that's a whole nother conversation with these dogs. Yeah. These dogs are phenomenal. They're being trained, whether they be just a comfort dog, whether they be a therapy dog or a certified dog. There's different categories of how we can initiate these dogs into performing as a companion to those that have suffered PTSD or traumatic brain injury or whatever. They're just phenomenal, and these guys and girls that are doing the training, they're exceptional. So that's another thing that basically, whether you know it or directly or indirectly, when we engage in this partner theme, that you're actually spreading the wealth to support a individual out there that's in need, because we shine on that, and we're keeping it local. You hear what I'm saying? I want to repeat that. We're keeping it local. Not that I have not got anything against national, but we have needs here in our community. Okay? When we address our needs in our community, then we can expand. And that's the whole, just where I stand.
I just want to say one thing on this closing part there, Whip, if you would, please. Another thing I'd like to address is that, between the MOA, Denver Vesta 6, or any other fire department out there that need the help, we are working strong together. You see how well we work together, come to our events and things. I mean, we are just thriving to get stronger out there and build on it. So like Whip said, for the MOA, myself, look us up on the internet and look us up and see our events. We have events out there, and it all goes to a good cause. Absolutely. And another thing, too, is I just want to say everybody knows the number, 911. Don't be afraid to call. The volunteers are coming regardless. We are there to help you. Everybody, please remember, remain safe, and God bless you all.
Well, Derek, well said, and I thank you for sharing your time with me, and we will have off the radio conversation, and I want to remind folks that I will be back on at 3:15 with the Dog Tag Club, so I hope you tune in. We have a guest that's going to be giving us a update on the activity, what the VA is doing, and we'll expand on that. And again,
absolutely great. I appreciate that so much, Whip. Thank you.
No, thank you. And one more time, it's the MarianaOutdoors.com. You can brief over what we've gotten in. I would encourage you to look at the Bond and Brotherhood, and read over that what we've have already established in the different programs of the fishing, hunting, the kayaking, canoeing, horseback riding, all these bike trails and everything as such. And we're not only proud of introducing these programs, we're extremely proud of maintaining them through the partnerships with what we just discussed with Derek. So again, turn over a new leaf, turn over a new thought when you're talking about helping out the firemen or the veterans. Please engage, and thank you for listening, and God bless you all.